Hello, welcome to today's Talk of the Town. I'm Sandy Benson. We've got a great show ahead for you, so let's get started. AccuQuest is the nation's largest private hearing health practice. AccuQuest Hearing Centers offers excellent diagnostic testing, superb patient care, and state-of-the-art hearing aid technology. They find that treating hearing loss is more than just a science, it's an art. Each loss is unique, and its treatment is equally unique. But by being on the leading edge of the audiology field, they can profoundly impact an individual's quality of life. Joining us now, Daniel Bledsoe, Associate, helps us ascertain when ours or a loved one's hearing may be impaired. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You know, you don't think about it because, of course, you're blessed with hearing, and if you aren't, obviously, it's you know, with hearing losses, it is debilitating.
Absolutely.
So what are some signs, say, I should look for in myself or in others, so to know if you have a hearing test done?
That's a really great question. One of the things that a lot of people should be looking for is, you know, are they having to turn the TV up louder? You know, are people? Does it sound like they're repeating themselves off, or are they having people repeat themselves often? Does it sound like people are mumbling? You know, these are things that you know, you should be looking for to just get an idea whether or not you might have a loss at all. Right. And one of the things that people need to understand is that they need to trust those who are around them. Usually the person who has the hearing loss is the last to actually know they have it, simply because they don't know what they're missing. So if somebody that's around you is saying, hey, you need to get your hearing tested, then you really need to listen to them.
Right. So what other health effects can it have? Because I think it does, you know, affect other parts of our health and body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question. Hearing loss does have can have quite an effect, rather, on other parts of our body. You know, most people think that if they have a hearing loss, it's just affecting their ears, but there's a lack of stimulation that goes to the brain. You know, the brain is similar to a muscle in that if you don't use it, you can lose it. And those auditory functions of the brain, whenever they don't receive the stimulation that's required because of the hearing loss, there's an actual atrophy that can take place. Okay. There's other things that can happen as well. You know, our ears control our balance, and so it can affect your equilibrium at times. Right. You know, a lot of people begin to withdraw themselves whenever they're not hearing properly, and that can cause them to go into depression as well. There's been some recent studies done at the Johns Hopkins University that's even proven a correlation between hearing loss and things as severe as the onsets of Alzheimer's and dementia. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Those are all really good signs. As far as when we should look to have a hearing test, do you have recommendations?
Yeah. You know, I've seen a lot of studies that recommend that before the age of 50, you should be getting it tested once every 3 years. You know, it's good to just have a baseline and know where you're at. After the age of 50, you know, if there's no loss, you should still get it tested once a year so that you know where it's at, and if there is a loss at any point, then you know what you can do about it. You know,
more like an immediate remedy rather than waiting so long that you've already veered off and, you know, then you don't want to treat it.
That's exactly right. You know, there's a big misconception that hearing loss is just for the old people, and it's not. You know, especially in the noisy environments that we live in today, that hearing loss can be caused by you know, that constant noise exposure, can be caused by loud sounds, which many of us are exposed to. Right. Even accidents, you know, any kind of head trauma can even cause it, or medications one may be taking can cause hearing loss. So it's imperative that you do get your hearing tested and at least have a baseline so you know where it's at.
Yeah, yeah, that's very good information. So why do some people feel that their hearing is okay for their age? You know, like, I guess it's age specific. You think it's okay if you're 80 and you can't hear.
That's right. And that's one of the things I hear all the time is people saying, well, you know what, yeah, there's loss, but well, it's normal for my age. And you know, what I tell these people is hearing loss is not normal. You know, we're not supposed to be losing our hearing, but in the environment we live in today, many people are losing their hearing. But you know, I know people who are 90 years old and I swear they can hear paint dry on the walls, and that's fantastic. But you know, anytime you do see that hearing loss is developing, you want to take care of it. and that's because of those things we talked about before. You know, people begin to withdraw themselves, they get
Sure.
depressed, you know, and even the things as severe as the Alzheimer's and dementia. You know,
Sure.
a lot of people will, you know, want to do something about it simply because they want to avoid worse things down the road.
Right. So Daniel, say I pick up that somebody might need help, but they obviously don't want to admit it. How do you sort of, you know, gently encourage them to have a hearing test?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and one of the things that a lot of people really struggle with. You know, oftentimes I have people come in and they are in with their spouse, and I'll ask them, you know, what brings you in today? And you know, the person who has the loss will begrudgingly say, you know, point to the spouse and they want me here and they want me to get it tested. And you know, that's really one of the struggles that a lot of people deal with, is getting those loved ones in. You know, you just really need to help give them the information that they need and express the reasons why you want them to get it taken care of. And people who have that hearing loss really need to understand that it's not just affecting them, but it's affecting those around them as well. You know, so many times I've had spouses just tell me that they're fed up with having to repeat themselves, or you know, the wife says, you know, to the husband that your grandchildren you can't hear your grandchildren, they can't have a conversation with you. So it's affecting all of those around you. You know, if you point these things out to people, not in a way that, you know, like you're trying to belittle them or anything, but very respectfully. You point these things out to them. A lot of times that helps them come around a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you for being on the show. Really,
Not a problem.
really good information. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And we will be right back with Talk of the Town.